I didn't learn this until my 30s, but the most magnetic women are not chasing their being, and that's how they become a muse. They're the type of women that shift energy when they walk in a room, and they're not just seen, but they're felt. And not only are they felt by others, but they feel themselves. They're fully embodied sensual women, and sensual in the sense of your senses. She knows what she smells like. She knows how she looks. She knows what she sounds like. She knows how she feels, and you can figure out the last one. A sensual woman is a present woman. She knows how she smells when she walks past you. She knows how her voice lands when she says your name. She nourishes her body in a way to keep her supple, soft, and warm. So being hydrated, eating healthy, getting good sleep. She looks in the mirror not to fix herself, but to see herself. She knows how she feels inside and out, and she honors that. To be a muse is to be tuned in to yourself, your body, your truth. You don't wait to be seen, you choose to be witnessed. So if you've been craving a deeper connection with yourself and you want to be a muse and you want to be someone who's more sensual, start tuning into yourself. Muse energy is real, and that alignment is what attracts the life you desire. Be who you want to be. Get in touch with your senses, get in touch with yourself, and become your own muse.
Attractive people all have a very specific trait that has nothing to do with their looks. The operative word in that sentence is attractive. Not in the sense of good looking, but in the sense that you are drawn to them. They are magnetic. You want to move closer to them. You want to crawl in their skin. That type of attractive. Attractive doesn't always equate to good looking. In fact, sometimes people become more good looking because of how attractive they are.
Most magnetic woman in the room is always going to be the one with deep self-respect. Magnetism isn't something you can buy. It's not youth, attractiveness, or the clothes you wear. Real magnetism comes from somewhere so much deeper. It's the connection you have with yourself, your body, your rhythm, your wisdom, and here's the important bit, how much you actually listen and act upon it. Staying true to who you are is the ultimate life hack for magnetism. You no longer leave your side, you're guided from within, and you become your very own North Star. And this doesn't happen in the big dramatic moments. It happens in the small ones we usually brush off. Nothing is inconsequential. The way you talk to yourself, the way you meet yourself in the mirror, the way you hold yourself when life gets hard. Each small choice builds upon the last until you're a woman steeped in self-respect. A woman who knows herself, who doesn't bend to anyone else's fancies, who knows her medicines and poisons and creates a life where she blossoms and thrives. That's what happened for my client Ruth. For a number of years, she silenced herself. She numbed herself with alcohol and carried around wounds that kept her second-guessing herself. The moment she stopped drinking was the moment she stopped leaving herself, and she built that self-trust and self-respect where there had been none. She created strong boundaries that respected her. She listened inwards instead of chasing outwards. And now she lives grounded, present, almost a year sober, and preparing for her PhD. She's the happiest she's ever been.
The one thing that makes you the most magnetic, the most attractive, the most magical to people. People are so attracted to this, whether they're aware of it or not. It's an energy thing. It has nothing to do with words. It has nothing to do with the way you look. It has nothing to do with the way you dress. People fall in love with these types of people, especially healthy people. If you want to attract a healthy person, this one thing is the number one thing that will draw everybody in, and you will literally look like a unicorn. And it's very simple. And it's just this: falling in love with your life. Not falling in love with just yourself, but falling in love with your world. Being so involved in your life and in your world that you don't have time to worry about other people. When you possess that quality and that energy, people become so magnetized to you, and it's because people look at you and they can see that you're 100% whole without anybody else.
Another reason why I believe a lot of beautiful women lack allure is because they require a man's desire to feel desirable. They care too much about being liked, and especially by men. Now, I try to give them grace when it comes to this one, because like I said, a lot of us have been bamboozled. A lot of these lifestyles that have been pushed on us in the recent years, due to the rise of capitalism, tells us that being a city girl, acting like a man, taking your emotions out of it, treating men how they treat us, is sticking it to the patriarchy, when in all actuality, it's upholding the patriarchy. Now let me clock it. The patriarchy tells men that as long as they have a ding-a-ling and they have money, then they can get away with damn near anything. Hence Epstein, hence Weinstein. I mean, they just now putting P. Diddy in jail, even though a lot of people have been very aware of his heinous crimes for years. Why is that? Because he's a man with money. And then these women come behind them and say the same thing. As long as a man has money, he can have access to me. He doesn't have to be chivalrous, kind, know how to read. Sorry, I know I'm a real baddie. I had to throw that in there. A lot of y'all be illiterate rich niggas. And in order to get these powerful men with money, you have to act like this. You have to dress like this. You have to basically compete with other women for these said men. It's no coinky dink the rise in mean girl music, the rise in Sure 7 trade wife type of content. It tells women to compete with other women in order to get a man. So a lot of these lifestyles are centered around a man's desire, and there's nothing alluring about that. You know why? Because men like a chase, and none of these aesthetics or lifestyles require them to chase you, because you're chasing them. You're changing who you are to call them in when it's supposed to be the other way around, you know? A lot of what being a it girl or bad bitch is today is centered around being desired by men. It is. Because who wins when you say you a man? Not me. Who wins when, you know, you turn on the radio and it's downplaying everything a woman does? Y'all talk about women's hygiene, where they live, the clothes they wear, and in the same breath say, and I'll mess with your man. Who wins when you do that? The man. In their mind, they think they got one up on this man because they don't have any feelings tied to it. Girl, you think these men care that you think you got one up on them? They love that you will mess with them behind their woman's back. They love that you will sneak and creep with them behind their woman's back. They love it. They get you and a woman, because 9 times out of 10, that woman ain't leaving them either. Simply put, there is nothing alluring about being a pick-me. And a lot of the it girls today are pick-me's. I'm sorry.
The most addictive women, the ones who leave people obsessed, the ones that have men craving their attention, are the master of this one secret. And it is this: they play with contrast. They are soft but strong. They are sweet but sharp. They are warm but untouchable. She will look at you like you're the only man in the world, but she will never beg for your attention. She adores you, but if you cross the line, she's gone. She's playful, she's flirty, she's light-hearted, but you can still feel that her boundaries are made of steel. She's this gorgeous, delicious blend of light and dark feminine energy, and that is what makes her irresistible.